Hello everyone, this is Phương. Welcome to my channel. Have you ever seen your Linux system free when running many applications at the same time? That could be because you don't understand swap, a virtual RAM area that helps the system survive when RAM is full. In this video, we will learn what swap is, how swap files differ from swap partitions, and how to create, manage, optimize swap in Linux. Okay, let's get started. So, what is swap? Swap is a portion of disk space used as virtual RAM. When RAM is full, Linux moves less users data to swap to free up RAM for new processes. Swap has avoid crashes, especially on systems with low RAM or sudden workload spikes. However, because it resides on disk, swap is much slower than RAM. Swap can be loaded in a dedicated partition or in a file with a swap partition is created when installing the OS is fast but fixed and hard to resize. A swap file is flexible, easy to create and remove, and has similar performance on LSD. So with modern systems, swap file is the better choice. First, let's check the current swap using this command swap on with option S. The output shows we currently have a swap partition, and this partition is a logical volume because it's a device mapper device. And now I will create a 2 GB swap file. Okay, sudo file locate with option L 2 GB swap file. Enter. Okay. Since we are on a server with root privileges, we don't worry about ownership for the swap file, but we still must set correct permissions. Sudo chmod 600 swap file. Enter. Then use mkswap to format it, meaning write a swap header. Sudo mkswap swap file. Enter. After that, enable this swap using sudo swap on swap file. Enter. If we run swap on with option S again, we will see both the swap partition and the new swap file are active. The total available swap is the sum of both. We can also use the free command to uh, view. Enter. Okay. And to make it auto enable at boot. Enter. You can temporarily disable swap using sudo swap off swap file. Enter. And if you want to increase swap size, resize and enable it again. Sudo file locate with option L 4 MB swap file. Says save permissions. Sudo chmod 600 swap file. Enter. Format the file as swap again. Sudo mk swap file. Enter. Okay. Then enable it using sudo swap on swap file. Enter. And then check swap size again. Free with option H. Enter. Okay. To completely remove the swap file. Sudo swap off swap file. Sudo rm swap file. Enter. Free with option H. Okay. The swap list determines how soon Linux will use swap. Default is 60. Linux will use swap fairly early. Okay. I recommend setting it to 10 so the system uses RAM as much as possible before touching swap. Sudo sysctl vm dot swap finish equal 10. Enter. Okay. To set it permanently. Sudo sysctl with system. Enter. Okay. So should we use or disable swap because swap is a real RAM? Don't rely on it. If the system has low RAM, less than 2 GB, we can add from 1 to 2 GB of swap as backup. If the system has high RAM, like 8 GB or more, we should keep a small swap and lower the swap release value. If running heavy workloads such as databases or Kubernetes, prefer disabling swap to avoid memory issues. If you deploy Kubernetes previously, uh, Kuber ADM would fail if swap is enabled. From version 1.30, Kubernetes supports no swap, but by default still requires swap to enable. So if you see the free flight error swap error run sudo swap off with option A, enter. Okay. Swap helps the system survive when RAM is full, but it doesn't replace real RAM. Always keep a small swap for backup. Monitor with uh, free with option H. Okay, and don't forget to optimize swapability. If you deploy Kubernetes, make sure swap is enabled or correctly configured. Hopefully, this video helped you clearly understand swap files and avoid common Linux errors. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you found this helpful. See you in the next video, okay?